world has come for the cinematic universe we live in.
Leave your belongings and make sure you're ready to enter in this new world.
This is Cinephiles, a podcast created by two self-proclaimed cinephiles who love talking anything about films.
Catch us every Wednesdays and Saturdays at 6 p.m. on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. So join us as we enter to the new world of Cinephiles.
The views and opinions of this program are those of the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the Kingdom podcast. The show might include strong images and language that may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
This episode of the Kingdom Podcast is brought to you by The Bunk Collective.
It's scary to even think about this show. Through hell or high water amidst the variety of challenges, and after 8 years of doing what we do best, one thing united us all. One show ruled them all. When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die. There is no middle ground.
Wait a second. I think you got the wrong kingdom. Do you even know what happens on the show?
I was not prepared for that story that you're about to tell.
Are they the inevitable next nations group?
Not when they're handled by JYPE.
When a boy group idol is seen with like a girl group idol, a lot of people like suddenly here are they dating, and then fan sites are gonna start closing down.
Yeah.
You know, all those stuff, and I'm like, I don't understand why.
Interacting with 60 different countries around the globe and listened to by thousands from the Philippine archipelago, The Voice is back for Season 2. Fearless, better, stronger, and boy does he enjoy the grind.
They're gonna be like, oh my god, let me sit on that. Like,
Yeah.
OMG, no, stop.
We talk about what other K-pop shows are fucking afraid to talk about.
People will get invested only to know that they will disband. Because, everyone gets old at some point and they can't always be an idol.
Just because you love someone, that's not how they grow, right?
That's right.
You need to give it to them straight. You need to be honest.
From personal matters to all the juicy stuff, no holds barred.
They're like, oh, I don't trust multis because I don't
Unfollow.
Okay, muted. Got you.
Broadcasting live from Manila, Philippines at the TKP Studios. This is the revelation that is the Kingdom Podcast, Season 2, with your host, the baddest SOB in K-pop podcasting history, the king himself, The Voice, DJ Yuuki.
Girls, I think I'm set for today. Do you have that? Do you have a K-pop? Not necessarily a K-pop idol, but I guess because we're a K-pop podcast, do you happen to have someone that whenever you see them, it's like, okay, I'm set. Like, I feel like ito talaga yung biggest crush ko. But then, time goes by and you realize that it's not. But it's been a while since I've been crushing on this person, and I saw her while I was hanging clothes.
Oh.
So I'm set for today. I saw Nara. She was on the TV show, like the Ito
Nara.
Kon Nara.
Kon Nara. Okay,
So-
akala ko like John Nara. The
Who's
other
John?
Nara.
No.
The big-eyed one.
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
no,
yeah.
they're both big-eyed.
Yeah, but Nara is like Kon Nara is just so.
Okay, tall Nara and short Nara.
Well, she's tall Nara, right? If I'm not mistaken. Okay, so I don't know about you guys. I feel that Kwon Nara, like it's all the complete package. That she's talented, she's beautiful, she's such a great actress, and it's like so crushing on her. So I'm set for today. How about you guys?
Well,
Do you have that? Like I feel that whenever I
Ido.
see her, Ido?
Hmm.
It's like of all.
Yeah. I've never had a crush on a K-pop guy before.
Except for Ido. For now.
Mm-mm.
That's fair.
Yeah.
How say you, Julia?
Honestly, it's Jessie.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Out
If
of
you see
all?
me,
Out of all?
yeah, yeah,
I mean, she is very crushable. Don't get me wrong.
yeah.
She is very crushable. Like,
She's my ideal type.
oh, she's your ideal type.
Yeah.
Of all, like, you've
Yeah.
stand a ton of groups. Like, you've never
Yeah.
had someone that had
Oh my
that same
God,
effect.
yes. I mean, you should see my comments under her post. Yeah,
Can we
especially
get her on the
those
podcast,
older
maybe?
ones.
I think that's reaching, but
Yeah, I think.
but it gives you excuse to talk to her, you know. Good stuff. Welcome to the Kingdom Podcast Season 2. This is me, Yuuki, Ally, and Julia. We're part of the creative team. I invited both of them because I wanted to talk about ONEUS. And since Ally's a big ONEUS fan, what do you call the fandom name?
Tumun.
Tumun, right? Yeah,
Not
Tumun.
Tumon.
Tumun. Okay, so Tumun,
Tu-
right? Yeah, so you guys, you're a big Tumun, and then Julia is a big RBW stan. Since
People
she
who
stands.
stand companies are shit. You gotta.
So, like, I wanted to talk to you guys. Let's just get into it. I wanted to talk about ONEUS's Luna. I was very more or less critical about how ONEUS promotes and their song choices, and I feel like Luna's their best song to date. And don't get me wrong, like I like a bunch of them. Don't get me wrong. It's just that the the, the concept, how they made the song, it's very unique. For a while, like we haven't heard a K-pop song without English words, and I found out from Ali that wala siyang English words. It's all in Korean, so that's very unique,
Yep.
very interesting, and I love that concept because we haven't really gotten that kind of concept for a long while, like more than 15 years, probably more than like probably 20. I don't know. So yeah, more than 20 because SES, I'm your girl. Yeah, good stuff. So this is very interesting for me. It's something that's very unique, especially in this day and age. And I wanted to ask you guys because I feel that ONEUS should be in that sort of conversation on who's gonna contend for, good boy groups. But I feel that with the amount of
Boy groups.
not boy groups, but like the amount of songs that they have and the amount of fans may put into the effect on why they're not in that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously it's not their fault, and I don't want to say it's RBW's fault because
It's their fault though.
I mean they're working from the ground up, and I wanted to give them that sort of ano yun? What's the term I'm looking for? Benefit of the doubt. Because at the end of the day, they're promoting ONEUS in a sort of way where they know that they're going to be the standard bearers at one point. I mean, of course, we want to bank on ONEUS as well because ONEUS is such an amazing, talented group. But at the end of the day, boy groups over bands, right? I mean,
Right.
that's the market, and there's really nothing we can do about that. But there's something that's holding them back. And I wanted to ask the both of you, since you guys know who ONEUS is, especially Ali. She's a Tumun. So, is the RBW formula holding them back on superstardom? The formula meaning that, okay, let me shove this group in your throat and promote them everywhere. But then you seem to have that lack of promotion at one point, like it kind of falls off. Because I only felt that with Mamamoo. Of course, Mamamoo would only be the point of comparison because RBW, Mamamoo is the only group that had reached superstardom as of now. So in that sense, I feel that Mamamoo wasn't really promoted that well, and then songs like Hip happened, Wasa blew up, and then like now they're shoving it like shoving Mamamoo in our throats, and at one point like it becomes a bit, I don't want to say appalling, but it feels that parang, what's the term I'm looking for? So I don't
Too much.
yeah, too much. Yeah, in lack of proper term, like I feel like it's just too much. And since Ali, you're a big Two Moon, and Julia, you've been standing RBW groups for a while now. It's like, is it the formula that's holding them back?
It is.
How so?
It is.
How so?
Well, we can see the lack of promotions.
But isn't it Ali that RBW is kind of really promoting ONEUS now with the songs and different concepts of
Yeah,
the song?
now, but they should have promoted them earlier. Like,
Yeah, but you
like
can't
before
really
pa.
bank on a group that doesn't produce money for you to promote it.
Yeah,
that
that's their
big.
problem. They don't know how to do it. Unlike okay, I'm gonna compare it with Purple Kiss. Purple Kiss already has an OST,
Mm-hmm.
and they've already have a collaboration with a game. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've
This
heard of that. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See?
The
So
Lululala.
Yeah, Lululala. Yeah, I've heard
yeah.
of it.
So dun pa lang, there's a lot of viable options. It's just that, let's say na, yeah, they're a new group, they're not making money, but they didn't think of how would they do it, how would they make money. Unlike ayan nga, sa Purple Kiss talaga.
Yeah,
And
but then
compared to
again, like if
Mamamoo,
you
yeah.
think about it, like Purple Kiss compared to ONEUS, weren't you two girls are the ones that are telling me that Purple Kiss outsold all of the groups that they're like in level with? So
Mhm.
Yeah.
in that sense, they probably, because they outsold it, like when it comes to albums, then they have the money to produce. If we're gonna compare it to ONEUS, and obviously, like we're just going to compare ONEUS to either One We, Purple Kiss, or Mamamoo, since they're in that RBW bracket. But
Mhm.
isn't it because of that? Like they knew that Purple Kiss will sell compared to
Um,
how ONEUS sells right now.
for me, to be honest, yes, mainly because you cannot like compare ONEUS to Mamamoo because Mamamoo is like a girl group, and technically speaking, girl groups are more popular. If I could say it in terms of hit songs, versus boy
Yeah,
groups.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so I think the reason as to why Purple Kiss is banking more opportunities as a group versus one is because they are expected to be the second Mamamoo. We don't say that ONEUS is the second Mamamoo, right? It's always Purple Kiss. So I think that's one of the issues that we should be looking at. Also, sorry. In terms of them like releasing songs every 3 4 months, it's like they for just for this year 2021 they have released 3 songs as title tracks, and then like how many like what they call this sub tracks have they released with videos as well. It's that's Life is Beautiful, the one you like, the Shut Up
Yeah.
Paco
Shut
Crazy
up and
Hot.
dance with me. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And then they also had like videos, like special performances, so and so forth. So I think it's not because they're releasing too much, although I do hope they don't release too much because it must have been very hard for them to not have enough rest after their promotion, since they would have to bank on uh creating or thinking of another comeback.
Yeah.
But I think it's more of how fandoms with boy groups are. The thing that I do notice is that most of boy group fans, like what do you call it, there's this thing like barricade, or like I forgot what's the term, like millennial term. but something
You're
about
asking the wrong person.
No, I remembered gatekeeping.
Yeah.
Okay, I have no idea what that means.
So they're basically gatekeeping their boy groups, and most of boy fans don't really venture out to other boy groups, but rather venture to girl groups.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really comparing One
No.
Us to
Yes.
Mamamoo because they're boy and girl groups. I'm just saying that, in one agency you need to have a standard bearer. And that doesn't really necessarily correlate to you having a standard bearer for boy groups and girl groups. I'm not saying they're the next Mamamoo. I'm saying that they probably will be the next standard bearer because let me give you an example. Let me cite you an example. EXO and Red Velvet correlated with each other or existed with each other, but you
That's why
never.
I haven't finished what I was explaining with
Okay.
the gatekeeping. Although I understand like di naman it's nothing, it's useless to compare Mamamoo with One Us since they are, let's say, two different formulas, or let's say they're
I
like
guess.
coffee and milk or whatsoever. They can mix, but they're really different things with different tastes. So I understand that. However, I think the reason why they really aren't that much popular, because I wouldn't say that they're not popular. Like,
Yeah,
a lot of
obviously they're
people know
not. I mean,
them.
they're not popular.
Mhm.
They're obviously popular. They're more popular than us. So I
Yeah.
guess you could think of it as if thousands of people listen to this podcast, then if you think about it, like they probably are
Yeah.
more relevant than we are.
Yes.
So
But
obviously,
I think the reason as to why they're not, let's say, a household name,
yeah, because you
let's say
have the
that,
17s and the treasures and the BTSs and
yeah, is because there's too much competition and little to none people that you could reach out to if they already in the boy group or boy group stan scene.
Look, I'm gonna respectfully disagree with you on that. It's not that
Mhm.
there's too many competition. It's just that the competition is way too long, or like the gap is way too huge. It's unlike the girl groups where they can coexist with each other. And if you think about it, how many girl groups are currently actively promoting right now that are actually getting numbers? You can probably name 10 of them compared to the boy groups where, okay, give me like 10 active boy groups right now. So you see where, yeah, but you see where the difference there is that the gap is just way too huge. And again, it's not really pointing into One Us's flaws because I don't see any flaw in how they're currently being promoted, to be honest. It's just that the competition's gap is just way too huge. And I don't know how RBW, being an agency that, is the reason that Mamamoo is existing right now. It's just that I don't feel that how are they going to breach that gap? And that's always, the biggest question here. Because if you think about it, Mamamoo's kind of like non-existent now. And obviously the RBW as an agency need to have someone that can, pick them up, because I don't think Wasa, even as a solo artist, can produce the numbers that Mamamoo ever did. Regardless of how she's very famous, and obviously she is, and she produces good songs, like all of them do. It's just that I don't know, like RBW as an agency needs that group, and I feel, to be honest, and this is not a hit on Purple Kiss, I feel like ONEUS will be that group, But then again, I can't really say definitively that ONEUS will be that group since I don't really listen to Purple Kiss.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know their numbers.
Okay, so
and
that's
you guys do.
Yeah, but since they've already won, like ONEUS already won their first win.
Yeah, congratulations to them.
I hope it's the start. I understand right now it's very hard for Two Moons to like keep up, especially with the bigger groups competing with Twice. Who else is there? Monster X. If I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken. So
Blackpink, obviously still very, omnipotent.
no, I mean like competing right now in
Oh,
music
competing.
shows.
Oh, in music shows. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. hopefully RBW lets them rest for a while since they've already managed to, get their first win, which they have been trying to get for the past almost 3 years since
and
they're
which Purple Kiss has not gotten to that point yet, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, probably the longevity obviously will play its role.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's not that Purple Kiss is producing bad songs. It's just that, like, probably the gen pop isn't really in there yet. And
Mm-hmm.
You're not
ONEUS,
listening to them.
yeah,
So you don't really know.
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't really know, but like you're the Perkle. What do you call it?
Perky.
Glory.
Sorry, Plory. You're the Plory mostly between the three of us. Like, what do you think? Is Purple Kiss as a group promotion wise lacking? That's why they're not the standard bearer, or is it just because of the longevity of ONEUS being existent?
They're actually very active. It's annoying me since I'm an admin. To be honest, it's annoying.
Yeah, it's annoying too that your mouth is not close to your microphone.
It's really annoying to
There
the
you
point
go.
that, and they're pretty active, but I think na they don't really guest on a lot of shows yet. Because all have they been doing is they have a diary, yung parang
Oh, the YouTube thing.
yeah, the YouTube
Yeah.
thing.
Mhm.
And they've done guestings, but it's not enough.
Yep. Not enough for for it to target like K-pop fans directly. Let's say variety
I mean,
shows.
is it really just directed to the current Plories, and does it feel like Purple Kiss is a very, or Plory is a very welcoming fandom?
For now, yes, of course. There's
Yeah,
still
for
new.
now.
Sooner or later, every other fandom is the same. You're gonna be like, there's always gonna be that bad weed there, despite having a lot of good weed. So it will come to that point. Yeah.
Well, um, I beg to differ because I've seen fandoms that started off as very toxic, and up until now they're still very toxic. So,
Well, yeah. Pegu.
what Pegu? What do you mean?
Remove that.
Yeah. I mean, so
Like exclude them. I know.
I mean, yeah, I'm not. Well, I can't really exclude them since they're in the K-pop culture, So that's the culture. That's why people fear
Mhm.
K-pop fans, because they have that sort of mentality where K-pop fan ka toxic pala to, things like
Mhm.
that. So
But I think, honestly, at this generation, specifically for generation, all fandoms start off, really nice. But then when it comes, um, let's say talking about competition or like, um, bragging rights, if I may say,
mm,
they really have that pride with them.
are we talking about ONEUS or like the groups?
In general.
In general, yeah. Oh,
All
yeah, I mean,
groups.
obviously, yeah. The bragging rights will definitely be there. It's an ego play. So, your group wins. Fucking A, you're on top of on top of the world because you feel like you're responsible for them winning as well. So,
Right.
I mean, indirectly you are, but
Mhm.
I mean, if you vote,
But-
yeah, if you vote, yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? The last, I forgot, there's this music show we're in, like Monsta X when like one, and then ONEUS was in second place, and they were like very very nice about it, so everyone was like all hearts and giggles. So that's one part of the K-pop, being in a K-pop fandom really makes me say, if I could say that. Because to be honest, lately the other fandom is very, very toxic, and I don't like it very much. So I'm not like really looking into.
Sorry, are we talking about weaves?
No.
Oh, like-
Mumus.
Oh, okay.
They're very toxic.
Yeah,
now.
well,
I
I
don't
stopped
know why.
following Mamamoo in general. It's not that I look. It's just that they've already indirectly disbanded, so I'm not really going to follow them no more. And it's not that I hate them. Obviously, I don't. Like, if they come back as 4 or as 3, like, I would still listen to their songs. But
Not so as much
Not
invested as they were
no,
still
no, not at
active
all.
as before.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah.
Like these
I'm not.
albums, the collection, the album collection that we have, or that you have, sorry, is probably the only thing, or the only amount of support that I can provide them moving forward. You know,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm
And
not
it
really,
all
I'm not really in the views kind of. I'm not
right.
the views kind of person too. Like
Same.
you would know that.
Yeah. And by the way, it looks like Ween is preparing for her solo comeback.
Oh, see, good stuff. Very nice. But then you're a Wii stan, Ali. I mean, you're a Wii stan. Like it never occurred to me that you would stop listening to Wii. You know, and obviously because she's your bias and she's my bias as well. But then again, like compared to Wasa released her solo,
Mm-hmm.
but you haven't really listened to it. So
Yeah,
you
because
know,
I'm
you're
working.
yeah.
I'm
But then
working.
again,
But
if you're a Wii stan and she releases, regardless if you're working, I'm pretty sure that you'll read it or you'll watch it.
no, not really, because like ONEUS just released like a video earlier today, and I don't want to watch it because I'm working, and I don't think it's.
You're working. You're recording a podcast. This is work. Good stuff.
Lol, are you paying me?
I'll pay you hugs and kisses.
No.
Ew.
Ew,
Shut up,
right?
Julia. Shut up, you
Ew.
single fucking.
I'm okay. I don't waste my money on people right now. I'm okay with that.
So you waste it on
Wow.
what?
On my ex.
Your ex?
Yeah.
So that's a people. That's a people. You know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
your
But
argument
the perks
is
of being single.
yeah,
No,
but
no,
then
no.
your argument
It's
is then
because the
invalid.
No, let me finish.
Okay, fine.
Let me finish. Yan. The perks of being single is that I don't have to spend it anymore.
You don't have to spend it anymore?
Yeah.
I don't
Bakit?
get it. I thought you were spending it on your ex.
Yeah.
So how do you
Oh my
not
God, hindi
spend
mo
it
ba
anymore?
gets?
No, I don't
Hindi
get
mo
it.
ba gets? When you're
No.
dating someone, di ba you buy stuff for them,
Yeah.
you pay for your travel fees,
Yeah.
ganon, you buy clothes, ganon,
Uh-huh.
ka. Yeah, that's what I used to do. And ngayon, I'm single. I don't do that shit anymore. Because I have nothing to spend on, no reason to go out. I'm literally just a waste
Okay,
of
I get it now.
space.
Okay, shit. Whatever. We get to our first commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk about Black Swan, which is probably the first and only time we'll talk about them.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about them too.
No, look, I do want to talk about them. This is a very interesting take on everything, and there's something about how them and their agency approach this that
What's the name of their fandom?
I find interesting. I don't know. What do you call Little Swans?
I don't know what their fandom name is.
You know, that's not a bad. We'll talk about it later on. Let's get to our first commercial break. When we come back, more of the show. Don't go away, you guys.
This is Mo Twister, and you're listening to the Kingdom Podcast with the voice DJ Yuki.
Hey, podcasters. Podcasting has become a staple when it comes to new things to try, especially here in the Philippines. Check all of them out on your podcast players like Spotify or Apple Podcasts. We also hope you can donate to the show for as low as 99 cents via our Anchor account. You can go to anchor.fm/thekingdompodph/support. We want to get as much content out there as possible, and a small amount like this would definitely help us out to keep the show going. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Now let's get back to the show.
We are Bunk Collective, and we are podcasts that'll shake the podcast industry. No, wait, that's overpromising. We are Bunk Collective, and we're here to define meaningful storytelling. Nah, doesn't feel right. We are Bunk Collective, and we're here to make meaningful moments. Scratch that. You know what? Let's just say it like it is. We are Bunk Collective, podcasts that came to play.
A bunch of playful and creative people telling our stories on our own terms.
No matter your type of podcast, there's a ton to play with.
And there's a lot more joining the collective real soon.
So press play and play with us.
We're here to give you a good time.
You're listening to the Kingdom Podcast. All our episodes are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and on Anchor.fm. Your weekly dose of K-pop is now back.
Welcome back to the podcast. This is the time where I invite you to support the podcast by going to anchor.fm/thekingdompodph/support. You can donate as low as 99 cents via the Anchor account to help us keep the show going. So if you want to, keep on listening to the podcast for more seasons and you want to support us in that way as well, you can go to anchor.fm/thekingdompodph/support. You're still with me, Yuki, with Julia and Ally here of the Kingdom Podcast Creative Team. You can follow them on Twitter. For Ally, it's @_Ally Mary Earl. You'll probably see a lot of Mamamoo. Well, no, We in ONEUS and Purple Kiss there.
No, not really.
Well, occasionally you see, I would see that. And you can follow Julia on Twitter. It's @LennonLeah.
Not active there anymore though.
What's your what really?
Oh, dump account. Char.
Yeah.
So what's your new
I
account?
have another. No, that's a secret. Because it's full of hentai.
You can just message.
Oh shit! I want to
her-
follow that. Wait.
No.
It's full of
You can just
hentai.
follow Julia on the Kingdom Podcast. Message her there.
Yeah.
If you would like to.
Yeah,
like,
she handles the IG account. So yeah, the Kingdom Pod PH on Instagram.
I've been
So,
busy. I haven't fixed the asymmetry.
yeah.
In the
Send her $20. She'll send you nudes. Yeah.
Yeah, please. I'm
So, see.
desperate to buy a car.
Buy a car for $20. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the podcast. All right. So, guys, Black Swan.
Do your thing.
Isn't it? I was talking to Ali about Black Swan a couple of days ago.
Mhm.
It's like I feel that the name is very, very
Do your
shady.
thing. Do your thing.
What do you do my thing? Like I don't have anything, you know? Like,
No,
I
that's
feel
a
that
song. It's a BTS song called Black Swan.
There's a BTS song called Black Swan.
Mm-mm.
I don't even
Yep.
know that.
Do you think with me now? What's my name? Ay, tama ba?
Da da do da da do
Hindi,
da da
not
do
that
da da
one.
do. They sound
Oh, you
exactly the
butchered
same.
it.
They sound exactly the same. Okay, so yeah, they released it in 2020. Which came first? Is it Black Swan or the song that I was singing?
The egg.
The egg.
Oh, I think the song that you were singing.
Yeah, see?
Yeah,
So
the
yeah.
song.
Let's go BTS. Anyway, so Black Swan. So there was this bullying issue.
That's
Kinda,
usual.
sort of bullying issue going on between two members.
What's new?
Look, they're not a problematic
it's always,
group.
No. It's always the girl groups with the bullying issues. Eh.
Yeah,
It's
because
just-
boys don't really have bullies per se. Like if someone bullies you as a boy, or like it's not a gender thing. I'm just saying that if you're a guy and someone bullies you, you bully them back. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
And compared to girls, like probably some girls would probably have, that kind of introvert like personality going on. Thus, they're not really into fighting back, and it's not a gender thing. I don't know. It's just, I guess, like that's just how it is. And I don't want to really talk about that since that's not really the topic. I want to talk about Black Swan's dispute and how DR Entertainment, their agency, right? So they approach this in a sort of way where I would even applaud them. Considering how specific they address things, do you think this is a better way of dealing with internal disputes in groups or fandoms? Have you girls read how DR Entertainment addressed this issue?
Yeah.
No.
It's like they said that we're the first entertainment agency to have a group that has different cultures as members and very diverse, because obviously it is their group, even S4 is a very diverse group. You would probably make an argument for the SNSD and even the Twices and the Blackpinks because they're from different cultures and whatnot. But this specific group is very, very diverse, So it's so specific on how they addressed it that I actually applaud them for it. I feel that considering everything on how dealing with disputes like this, because most of the time, if something like this happens, agencies don't really bat an eye most of the time.
Yeah.
Or if
Or
they
you-
address it, it's like way too late.
Or
And
like if they ever address it, it's like we're not part of the shit.
yeah,
Bahala
exactly.
ka sa buhay mo,
So
like
yeah,
that.
I mean things like that, and this is why I don't know. Is it because they're a small agency that's why they can make more risks compared to the bigger agencies that are present right now and very omnipotent and fucking, it just that it's such a curveball on how they
To be
approach
honest,
this that I
this is
find
the
it
first
so impressive.
this is the first time I've heard of VR music. This is the first time, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. Me
Um,
too. Yeah.
yeah, I think it's because of that. Because if ever, like for example, of course, let's use my favorite people, the Pinks. Yeah,
The
they're all
Pinks.
co-workers. Yeah, they're all co-workers, and people are gonna be like, no, they're family. No, they're not. I'm probably sure there's a bit of bullying there, and instead of addressing it, they would be like, people would defend them like, ah, they're coworkers, they're not supposed to be friends, ganun ganon, or like they're gonna pretend na it doesn't happen, or the company is gonna make up an excuse na ah, she was tired that day, she was on her period, she's sick, that's why she was
Um,
acting like that.
is this cake? She was tired that day.
Who are we talking about? Why don't I get your codes? What the fuck?
Really? Don't you know that the remember Irene
Yeah.
scandal?
Oh, well, I forgive her.
Yeah. Oh my god, Sim.
I forgive her. She's like way too beautiful that I. Her in anything. Like,
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. But anyway, like moving on. You were
No,
Yep,
saying
Julia.
So people are like instead of like saying na, oh yeah, we really don't like her, we're bullying her like that, they're gonna like come up with a bunch of reasons. Like for example, ayun nga, it's not just bullying. Like for example, when it comes to singing, they're gonna like for example, Blackpink is singing so bad at a music show live. They're gonna be like, the song is at a higher pitch. They're really tired because they're promoting this, that. Like they're looking for excuses instead of
they're giving
justifying.
merit towards something that's supposedly bad,
Yeah.
and they're giving merit
Yeah.
for it to be something that's actually
Yeah.
good. That's
And they're
happening.
gonna say, yeah, and they're gonna say stuff like, ah, at least my faves are kumakanta, ganun. At least my faves are singing live, unlike yours. Ganyan. Yeah, yeah, they're singing live, but it hurts the ears of the people. So that's your point.
For some, not for
Yeah,
all.
that's why you couldn't hear me properly earlier because your ears are bad.
No, your mic is deceased, or
No, 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 no.
probably your
Your
vocal
ears
cords need
are
some work.
bad. No. What do you mean? I've had a cleanse.
Is this the time where we badmouth our own groups? Because like I can do a 2-on-1 tag team between your groups.
Why? I mean, at least my group.
Anyway,
Yeah. If my group, yeah, they didn't get voted for Mama. It's okay
Yeah.
though. They get more promotions than
no, look, like in
others.
fairness to Purple Kiss, like I feel that them not getting that mama snub, they don't really necessarily need it for now.
Yeah.
It's not something that obviously it's a huge honor because it's mama, but then again, like they're a starting group, regardless if they get the rookie group or not, or even get nominated or promoted as such. Like they don't really need it per se, and that's the
Yeah.
reality of things.
But I have a question for you, Kuya.
Yeah.
Do you think that the number of people in a group actually contributes to the amount of bullying? Let's say, for example, we're 14 in a group. Do you think those people would get along?
Oh yeah,
that well?
absolutely. Like the number would definitely help out.
Yeah.
The amount of people. If there's more people in that in a said group, there would probably be more bullying.
Mm-hmm.
Because you'll never know. Like with all, let's say for BLACKSWAN, there are like 4 people, and you can probably blame it on culture or whatnot, and it's just that they just can't get along, and
Yeah.
in a
Actually,
sense,
even before Black Swan debuted, there are like a lot of members. There have been like a lot of changes when it comes to the
I don't even know that.
members. Yeah, they had a lot of lineup changes. Did you know that?
Remember, I told you that they had another name before.
Yeah,
Like,
Rania.
yeah,
Ah,
Reina.
Raina. Yeah. I remember
You
that.
forgot.
Yeah. No, I
Then
didn't
they
know. Like,
rebranded.
I knew. I thought that Raina was the same exact group. I didn't know.
Yes, there's still an original, or not really an original member, like a member
But all four of
from the
them are from
past.
Raina. Is that what you're
No,
saying? Oh, so they're not
one
original.
one group member is from Reina,
Okay, so they're not
and
really
then
original, you know.
Do you
yes,
remember? Oh wait. Before Fato, yeah,
The black
the
girl, yeah.
black, the black girl. There's actually another one. I forgot her name, but yeah, but she got replaced easily, or like she left. I forgot why, but yeah.
And I feel
And
like
there's
Fatu.
then like
I feel like Fatu also like doesn't really gel. I don't want to say Fatu doesn't gel well, but um, she's not really getting as much promotions compared to her sisters, you know. And
yeah.
that for me is very appalling. Like if you're gonna debut someone like Fatu, who's not it's not like a usual thing or a common thing that's going on. Like if you debut someone of black descent, in a group, and especially like in a K-pop group.
can we say like African American or
Is she
whatever?
African American? That's why I didn't want to say African
I'm
American.
not
Yeah.
sure.
Let's
I'm not sure.
search that. Let's not say black
Yeah,
or anything.
because
Let's
it
let's
says here
let's
her
specify.
birthplace is in Senegal and her hometown is in Belgium. So I
So
don't
she's
really
not
know.
African American. See,
Um.
that's why I didn't want to say African American.
Yeah.
So what do we say, like
Just
of
Fatu then.
like,
Just Fatu. Okay, fine.
yeah,
Sure.
or like Senegalese?
I
If
don't know.
she's
Like
from
I don't want.
Senegal.
I don't want to.
I don't
No,
I don't know. Sorry,
no.
guys.
She was born there, but she lived in
Yeah,
Belgium
but
for the rest of
yeah,
her
but
life. So I don't really know.
So she's probably
yeah, but
Belgian.
no, let's
You can
just
say that.
say
Whatever. Oh, I mean
of
that's not.
African European descent. Let's say that, or let's just say her name
Look,
for
guys,
God's
black
sake.
is not derogatory. I'm not. I'm just
Yeah, but
saying.
we don't really want to dwell into that topic right now.
Yeah,
So
And
let's
we
just
don't want
specify.
and I'm not dwelling into her ethnicity. I'm just saying. I'm just stating a point where if you're going to debut someone of that descent
Mhm.
in a K-pop group, it's
person of
something
color.
very, not
Be
like.
fair.
What do you mean? Like I'm not bad mouthing her in any way,
No,
girls.
not you. Not you. Like, I think what you're trying to say is at least be fair since he debuted them.
Yeah, and I feel exactly. The agency is not really being fair. If you listen to some of their songs, she's not
Wait,
really
does she
getting
have the
lines.
least? Yeah.
It's fucking like I felt like Jisoo had very little lines, and then I compare it to Fatu, and it's like, okay, no, never mind. Like Jisoo's getting way leagues away ahead of her. And that's for their English songs. That's for Blackpink's English songs. I'm just pointing out it, not them comparing them as a group, but just pointing comparisons. If Blackpink releases an English song and then Black Swan releases a Korean song, it's like Fatu's like getting slim to none, and then Jisoo's still getting like decent English lines even for Ice Cream.
Mm-hmm.
So in that sense, I just feel that they're not really giving justice for Fatu as an agency
Yeah.
when it comes to promotion, and I don't want them to disband in any sort of capacity, and I don't want Fatu to leave like in any sort, because Fatu had that smoking gun like pipe bomb post, diba? Siya yung nag-post nun eh. So there might have been talks of her like, why are you doing this, what are you doing, like, did you know that that's something very public and this is not something that we need as an agency and as a group. Like probably a conversation like that happened at one point. It's just that I feel that Fatu as an idol is not getting enough, even the base point. It's so bad. But like I said, I give props to their agency because they address this so specifically. And I feel like this should be the standard. Like, everyone's talking about it. why not confirm it and give, the actual reason on as to why this is currently happening? That's what I don't get. That's why I applaud DR um for doing such, and even like directing the conversation to the Black Swan fans, which I think is so mature, because a lot of them are just, the conversations that they're currently having is very horrible, even towards each other. So even to a point where their agency needed to address them as a fandom. I feel like that's very mature and I love it. Should this be the next standard? Which is going back to the topic.
No. No.
No, you think like agencies should just, don't bat
Wait,
an eye?
okay. Hear me out. Hear me out. If
Yeah,
it's
I would
something-
if you put your mic closer
same.
to your mouth.
Yeah, ito. Hear me out. Yeah.
There.
So if
Yeah, there.
it's like something that can be solved within the group, like for example, nagsapakan kayo, you don't have to film it, you don't have to post it, hindi nyo kailangan magparinig on it online, then you don't have to address it. But if it happens in a public place where a lot of fans saw, or like people saw, and someone accidentally recorded it, that's where they should put out a statement. Because to be honest, I didn't really know about the bullying incident, but I do know about the alleged.
So are you blaming
sexual-
Fatu then?
No, I'm not blaming Fatu. I'm
So-
blaming everyone in the group. The joke.
How is that like Fatu, fired the bullet? She's the one that posted it. So if your argument is saying that if no one knows about it, then dapat hindi na in-address ni DR. But then a lot of people, like thousands of people, knew about it. That's why DR
Yeah.
responded.
I think both Fatu and DR is at fault. Kasi first, DR wasn't able to solve it, like yung kanila lang. And it's escalated pa nga to Fatu posting it. And aside from Fatu, there are also sexual harassment allegations that Leia did. Like, parang there were comments on other... Kasi while I was doing research, there were like people saying na, wasn't Leia the girl that was like inappropriately touching
her members.
someone? Yeah. Touching
Yeah.
her members.
Okay, like how inappropriate is inappropriate? Is it mama mo inappropriate or like
Yes.
Touching boobs.
Oh,
Touching boobs,
okay.
touching butt without
Without
and you can
consent.
see the
Yeah. Like,
not really
Tita
because if
But they're
'cause if it's-
uncomfortable.
yeah,
Okay.
that's the thing.
Okay.
Like you can see it in their faces. Well, everyone's trying to like say Leia is trying to be that fruity member in her group, just like everyone else
What's
is
a fruity member?
gay.
Ah, okay.
Like you know how
So
other
it's
people,
Leia who's allegedly
Yeah, the
inappropriately
Brazilian.
touching other people.
Yeah.
Okay.
it shows, not
I don't know, like,
allegedly.
I don't know.
There are videos.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Isn't Leia Korean?
No,
No.
she's Brazilian.
Galit na galit
Ah,
eh.
Kasi baka di
Yeah,
ako rinig.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Look, I'm just
I'm
saying.
older than
I'm-
her.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just saying that
You're old.
the agencies should approach it in such a way where all of the included parties or involved parties should be called out, especially if it's the fandom wreaking havoc towards each other, because not like I don't know, not a lot of agencies have that sort of guts, and I
Yeah.
applaud DR for that.
I mean, I'm happy that DR did that, but it could have been resolved, to be honest. Like, very...
Yeah, obviously, right.
Very
There's a
quickly.
lack there.
Yeah.
Guys, remember, if they do that, it's gonna create more buzz and everything. So it's gonna see. We're talking about it right now. We didn't even hear from them. Like, let's say, like what, a week ago before this blew up.
Yeah.
So, whatever the issue is, it's always going to be a good promotion.
Yeah. PR stunt
Always
lang
remember.
pala to ng lahat.
Ano, so marketing ploy pala to.
Marketing ploy.
Yeah, what if, diba?
I mean, that'd be smart. Just saying. So if that's the case, then yeah, good for them. Freaking A,
Yeah.
everyone's talking about Black Swan. I, in my wildest dreams, have never thought of talking about Black Swan on this podcast.
Yeah,
Same.
I mean, we talked about them, but we just mentioned them.
Yeah, it's just a mention. It's not like even
Yeah.
like that's
And
even
you-
a like a bad mention.
I think we were judging their name.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get to our last commercial break. When we come back, we have our last topic for today. This is Yuuki, Julia, and Ally for the King Podcast Season 2. So we'll be right back.
Hey, this is Jacques, aka Arcady Blog, and you're listening to the Kingdom Podcast with the voice DJ Yuuki.
Hey, you. Doing this podcast thing for years now, I've always been an advocate to start your own podcast. Regardless if you talk about K-pop, science, news, politics, showbiz, start doing it because podcasting is growing very quickly, not just in the Philippines, but also worldwide. There's a whole lot of new shows out there, and we as podcasters need to stay informed in order to stay relevant. The best way to do that is with data, numbers, and analytics. Something to keep track of how you're doing. And the best way to get it all in one place is Podmetrics, your one-stop shop for all your podcast data needs. Podmetrics combines data from Anchor, Spotify, Chartable, Facebook Live, and YouTube in order to show you the real picture of how your show is doing. And when you know your show, you can grow your show. The best part is it's absolutely free. Sign up now at podmetrics.co. That's Podmetrics.
Hey guys, do you use Spotify as your main music or podcast player? On Spotify, you can listen to all your favorite songs or shows, including this. And you can choose over a variety of artists or podcasters for your listening pleasure. So go download Spotify on your smartphones and in the process, follow us on social media so that you'll know when the show will release a new episode. That's the Kingdom Pod PH on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. See you there!
Hey everyone, Mo Twister here. Just as long as my guy Yuki here is talking about Jenny Kim, then I'm all over this podcast. You're listening to the Kingdom Podcast with the voice DJ Yuki.
Welcome back to the podcast. This is where we invite you to listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all of your favorite Jesus Christ, favorite podcast mediums or podcast platforms. And you can like us on Facebook, Twitter, Anchor, Instagram, all in the same name, at the Kingdom Pod PH. You still with me, Yuki, with Ally and Julie here of the creative team. Girls.
Hello. Hello.
We got one last topic. Obviously, who's the biggest group right now in K-pop? EXO,
BTS.
Right? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
At one point they were. So obviously it's BTS. Now I wanted to, we never really talk about, and this is a recurring theme in any genre. Like if you're second best, no one really remembers who number 2 is. But I wanna ask you girls, let's settle the argument. Who's the number 2 boy group right now? Is it really 17 or NCT? Both of them have the same amount of members. You know, I'm kidding. I think NCT has like 5 more. So, or no. Like I think they have 9 more. I'm not. How many 17 members are there? 14?
13.
13? And then NCT has like 21 or 22, I think. So
That's a lot.
I don't know.
yeah, that's a bunch. Like that's another group. That's why NCT have like different
every
groups.
year.
Sorry?
I think they also debuted a new.
Yeah, they
member.
did. Yeah, they did. They
Oh
added
my
like
God.
one or 2 members like just
a
recently.
lot.
So yeah, it's a bunch, you know. So I just wanted to ask you guys in terms of sheer impact on the culture. Who's really number 2? 17 or NCT? It's like Ali and I, we already had a conversation regarding this, and we had it, of course, off the record, and that's why I had the idea of talking about it. Kasi nga, it never occurred to me that 17 would just blow up right like that. They produced good songs. They're playing their cards right, and that's why they're now in the conversation. And I feel that Carrots would definitely should be applauded for that. I'm just looking at the NCitizens and NCT as a group. Like, what do you think their argument would be? That's what in saying that the NCT is the number 2 boy group. Obviously, some of them would say like, no, they're the best boy group right now, which is hey.
Get a Grammy.
Get a Grammy. So, I just wanted to ask, like, how would you argue who would win this race? Because obviously number 1's taken, so we're eyeing it. We're eyeing number 2. I can see Ali like going on Google. It's like, what are we looking at here?
It's probably NCT when it comes to the number of members. Oh, they're 23.
No, but then look at how we have to look in the impact towards the culture.
I have an answer.
Who should be number 2?
17.
How so?
If we would be basing it on their awards.
Oh,
they have like a lot.
You went
a
there.
lot.
Yeah.
How about number 1s?
What do you mean number 1?
Number 1 songs. Who has more? You went there. That's a low blow. You went with the awards.
The thing is, I don't know much of their songs.
Yeah, because this is quite a hard topic. Obviously, we wanted to talk about it from someone that's outside looking in a sense where we're all collectively K-pop stans, but we don't really follow them as groups. But then again, we also have that not the responsibility, but we also have that vision towards these two groups on who the number 2 really is, because obviously we know what the number 1 is when it comes to the standard. So we're just looking at who's the second best. And it's not a hit on 17 or NCTS groups. I'm just saying that from the outside looking in, who do we think is the number 2 group? So how many number 1s does 17 have? Because I feel like they've won a ton.
Let's wait, okay?
Okay, while you're looking while you're looking into that, I just wanted to say that NCT, I feel that the current Kwangya formula is holding back NCT.
There's a lot of subunits.
Yeah, there's like 8.
1 to 7.
No, there's Wavy. There's 1 to 7.
Wavy.
Yeah, there's 1 to 8. There's 1 to 9. 130. I would probably get Red here back again, but I just wanted to point out, like, if you listen to this podcast, you know who I think who has the best fandom name ever, right? It's NCitizen. It's so good. I love it. It's so witty,
guys. It's hard to compare their like number 1 singles, mainly because NCT has different subunits.
Yeah. So if we're gonna count them all.
What up ka dun?
Yeah.
Okay, so are we looking into each group dapat like we should look into each group or each subunit of NCT compared to just
no,
one
not
unit?
really, but seeing that I'm not prepared for this, it's very hard for me to like skim through it. There's a lot of songs,
but who has more, like, based on what you saw?
Honestly, I would say for album like album number 1s, 17. That's what I saw. Because albums, of course, you can skim through that because there's just a few. But with songs, I really can't tell.
Yeah.
A lot of people, even like I see based on what I saw, even Taeyong biases, like NCitizens that are Taeyong biases, they know for a fact that 17's popularity, even like just based in South Korea, is just way leagues ahead of NCT.
Oh, yun naman pala, ba't pa natin pinag-usapan?
No, I'm
Charot
just
lang.
looking into data. I wanted to look into data. A lot of even on Hanteo, which is
Hanteo?
What is up with
Hanteo.
you butchering everything?
Is it Hanteo?
Yeah, it's Hanteo.
Yeah.
Hanto. Fuck you guys. It's
O
Hanto.
di Hanto. O di pare-parehas tayong mali, di ba?
So even on Hanto, which is mainly on Korean sales, 17 has sold over 1 million albums, and NCT only sold like around 400,000.
O, now we have our answer.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think that way as well? Just not only on
Yeah,
the data,
for
but
me.
on the influence.
For me, yep.
I'll say you,
Yep.
Jules. I know you don't listen to these groups, but you're obviously aware of them.
I mean, yeah. When it comes to the songs, talaga it's 17. But when it comes to the fans, I mean, it's probably NCT.
I really can't tell, to be honest, because I've never heard them like clashing. Like, di sila ang tawag
Lalaban?
doon? Oh, naglalaps. Ay, tama ba?
I guess you can say that they're probably avoiding each other. You
Parang
know?
ganun.
Yeah.
So, I really can't tell. That's why it's hard. Because, to be honest, you can't really say who's the second because all eyes are on BTS.
It's funny how
Can I still say EXO is number 2?
A long time ago, yeah.
not right now. No, they're not actively promoting. Probably if
Yeah.
they're still promoting like BTS is promoting, they're probably number 2. If they're consistently making songs, like BTS is doing, they're probably still the number 2. Even if you put in NCT and 17 there.
Ayun no, sabi rin ng Sports Kida, the second place was taken by 17. There we have our answer.
You know, I just feel because it's a Pledis group, you know. And a lot of people are and that's not a bad argument. A lot of people would say NCT because they've been to how you say they're in SM Entertainment compared to 17 who's under Pledis, and we know Pledis doesn't really take care of their groups well. Well, girl groups.
They're underhyped now.
Are they? Oh, what happened to G-Friend?
G-End.
G-Friend is the end.
Yeah, kasi nga,
G-Friend,
it's
G-ended.
G-End.
It's bad. It's bad. Like I just feel that I don't know if that's really gonna help them out. Obviously, at one point we thought that Source being under hype would help out G-Friend, which in turn they did, but probably at one point it kind of like fell out. Like we just don't know what to do with the group anymore. That's why we're gonna have to disband you, etc., etc. You know that sort of argument. And I don't know if that's going to be the same case with 17. Probably not, because the amount of following plus they're a boy group, you know. They're in a sense there's market there. Not that they're more marketable, but there's market there. Plus G-Friend never really had the opportunity to become the number 2 group, since the number 2 group at the time of their prime was Twice. Because SNSD was still very prominent at that time. So unlike this, where 17 is, you know, very popular, and then NCT is very popular, we would still say that the argument goes to 17 as a group at being number 2, kasi BTS is number 1, and they're all very still prominent in the you know, in the culture. So in the said argument where some of them are saying that NCT is more popular because they're under SM, there is, for the sake of the argument, I'm gonna agree in the aspect where NCT is under an agency who's more famous and more prominent on producing good groups. But then again, right now, you know, like I feel like BTS broke everything. They came from Big Hit. Who the fuck is Big Hit? And then became Hype, and then fucking everything just blew up in all sorts of proportions, and you know, they broke barriers and fucking just changed the whole landscape of K-pop. that back then we were the niche market, and right now we are the market. Like everyone wants to collaborate with BTS. So, man, I don't know. Like I feel like BTS is, well, not I feel. I know that BTS is the standard, but if we're gonna settle the argument, and a lot of N citizens won't like this, 17 would probably be the number 2 group, no question.
Yeah.
Just basing it on sheer fucking culture, even the argument of impact, because there will be, it's very subjective when it comes to impact. Like a lot of people like it, and it goes to it's gonna all boil down to who you follow, right? If you follow mostly NCTzens, obviously you'll think that NCT has more impact because that's how it is. So if you follow mostly Carrots, then you'll know that Carrots and 17 have the most impact. And I have the I say the pleasure of following the same amount of Carrots and Citizens in my Twitter, and I just feel that based on what they're posting or retweeting, that really 17 is the more popular group, or at least the number 2 group. I don't want to say more popular because that's subjective.
What if GOT7 still exists right
No,
now?
not at all. No, not at all.
No?
Nah,
Mm-mm.
sadly.
Sadly. True.
Look,
I
they produce great songs. Don't get me wrong. They're producing good songs. Obviously, they're very talented. But it never occurred to me that they're the number 2 group to Big Bang's number 1 and EXO's number 2, or EXO's number 1 and BTS's number 2. You get what I mean? Like, probably they became number 2 because BTS wasn't super relevant prior to, the dopes and the fires and the mic drops. The danger times. Get what I mean? And probably I can make that argument that GOT7 would be the number 2 group, but it never occurred to me that they were number 1 because of Big Bang and EXO being very prominent at the time. So probably even at that time, we can make the argument. Super Junior fell short. That's why Big Bang took over, and then EXO debuted, and then they became number 2, and then obviously became number 1 because Big Bang had to, go to army, things like that. Plus with the current situation, they never really gone to a point where we knew that Big Bang would be disbanding at one point. So that's why EXO became number 1, and then BTS came, just screwed up everything. Just like, I don't know, the sheer impact of BTS is just way too huge. This is why I wanted to just go back to the ONEUS thing that we were talking about earlier. The argument of not having a lot of competition, but it's just that the sheer gap of the competition is just way too large for anyone else to catch up. And that even goes the same with 17 and NCT.
Gatekeeping.
I don't know what does it mean. Like, wait, let me
For
Google gatekeeping.
example, what do you
Like
do?
you don't
For
want it to
example,
be known, or like
Okay, so the activity of controlling, limiting, ganon. Okay.
yeah. For
So
example,
who
you
are we
like playing
gatekeeping?
Dota,
Who are we gatekeeping then?
probably Westerners.
So we're gatekeeping BTS or like 17 and NCT?
No. Like, diba kanina, you're like saying BTS broke everything. Like, what if they didn't like go expand to America, like to the Western market? Like, what if it didn't happen?
Yeah, well, probably BTS would still win the race.
Yeah, I think.
I think so, yeah. Probably BTS would still win the race regardless of how famous they got. Because if they produced the same songs, they would still probably be topping all the charts in Korea. So in a sense where if you're gonna look at gatekeeping, I don't know if we're gatekeeping 17 and NCT, or probably the argument of gatekeeping ONEUS, because I don't think is RBW or is the fandom gatekeeping ONEUS?
No.
So
They
yeah.
want it to be no.
So exactly. So in that argument, I just don't feel that. It's just that the gap is way too big. Because you know how 17, if we're gonna settle the argument, 17 being the number 2 group, right? You know how 17 needs to catch up to BTS, and then NCT needs to catch up on 17. So imagine if NCT is gonna be the number 3. Well, probably they are the number 3 group. Imagine where ONEUS, places, and they need to catch up on all of the the groups that are in front of them prior to them catching up to someone like 17. So it's just like, I don't know, it's just way too insane, when it comes to the gap. And it's not that I hate it, it's just that I'm not a big fan of it, Not because like BTS is like super huge and popular. It's not their fault, but like they just broke everything. K-pop will never be the same after BTS. So are they disbanding, Julia?
I don't know. Maybe 5. Wait, they said 5 years. It's already. I don't know.
Yeah, 5 years. They're already in the 30s anyway. So yeah.
I wish they would make more Korean songs. That's what I'm gonna say.
I don't think that's happening anytime soon, at least. But they did the Life Goes On, so it's cute. They did that 2020, right?
I know, but more. I want more.
Yeah, I would want them to create something like ONEUS did, an all Korean song. That really did impress me so much. Having an all Korean song, that's insane.
Thanks. Love you too.
Yeah. That's the show, you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Guys, do you have anything to promote prior to leaving? Julia, I know you have like 10 fan groups that you're involved with. Like, do you have anything
No,
to promote?
I'm pretty tired. I want to put them all, to be honest.
Good job. Yeah. So focus on the podcast. Yeah. Good stuff.
No, I'm quitting podcast too. Joke lang.
I'll go to Los Baños and I'll kill you.
Thanks for listening to the podcast, and we'll see you again on the next episode. This is episode 20, by the way, you guys. Fucking A.
Happy birthday.
It's not a birthday. It's an episode, sorry. Episary.
Episary?
Whatever. That's the show. Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Stay safe. Bye.
The Kingdom Podcast is executively produced by The Voice DJ Yuki and co-engineered by senior producer Jason Aguayo. Special thanks to the Kingdom Podcast creative team. You can like us on Facebook, Twitter, and Anchor at The Kingdom Pod PH. All episodes are available on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and any other platforms you use to listen to podcasts. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.